You know that one thing on your to-do list, the one you keep pushing off, the one you dread, the one that just kind of looms over you and drains your energy? Well, today we are going to tackle that beast head on. We're diving into a super simple but powerful framework from Brian Tracy's classic Eat That Frog. I mean, doesn't that just hit home? You're buried in work, you've got personal stuff, projects, a million emails. It's a river that just never stops flowing. The very first thing you have to accept is that you will never be completely caught up. That idea of one day having a totally clear slate, it's a myth. And you know what? That's not bad news. It's actually liberating. It means the goal isn't to do everything, it's to do the right things.
And that's the million-dollar question, right? If you can't possibly do it all, how in the world do you get control of your time and, really, your life? How do you make sure you're making real progress and not just, staying busy? Well, the answer starts with a simple, slightly gross, but incredibly effective metaphor. So, let's talk about your frog. And no, we're not talking about a literal amphibian here. In this system, your frog is the absolute key to conquering procrastination for good.
So what is it? Your frog is your most critical task for the day. It's that huge project, that tough conversation you need to have, that complicated report. It is the one single thing that, if you get it done, will move the needle the most in your life or your work. And because it's so big and important, it's also the one you are most tempted to put off.
Now, there are 3 simple rules for eating your frog. First, you've got to do it first thing in the morning before anything else can distract you. Second, if you happen to have 2 frogs, you have to eat the bigger, uglier one first. Get the hardest one out of the way. And finally, once you've decided which frog to eat, don't just stare at it. Jump in and get started. Honestly, this one habit, tackling your biggest task first thing every single day, is the foundation of high performance.
Okay, so we know what a frog is and we know when to eat it. But how do you figure out what your biggest frog is when you're looking at a whole pond full of tasks? That's where this toolkit comes in. These are the practical methods you can use to bring some serious clarity to your day.
This brings us to the famous 80-20 rule. You might have heard of it as the Pareto principle. Basically, it says that 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. Just think about that for a second. If you have 10 things on your to-do list, 2 of them are going to be worth more than the other 8 combined. And those 2 items, those are your frogs. And this chart illustrates that difference perfectly. You've got the vital few, your big, ugly frogs. They're high value, they make a real difference. And then you have the trivial many. Let's call them tadpoles. These are the low-value tasks, like, clearing out your inbox, that feel productive but contribute almost nothing to your big goals. The trap that most of us fall into is spending all day long chasing tadpoles. You have to fight that urge to clear up the small stuff first. So how do you sort them out? With the ABCD method. This is a super powerful way to organize your daily list. Your A tasks are your frogs. They're vital, and there are serious consequences if you don't do them. B tasks are your tadpoles. You should do them, but the consequences are pretty mild. C tasks are just nice to do. D is for anything you can delegate, and E is for stuff you can just eliminate. And here is the absolute ironclad rule. You never, ever do a B task when there's an A task left undone. And if you're thinking, I don't have time to plan on, well, check this out. It's called the 10-90 rule. It says that the first 10% of the time that you spend planning your work before you start will save you up to 90% of the time in actually getting it done. So a simple 10 to 12-minute planning session in the morning can save you up to 2 hours of wasted time later. I mean, that is an incredible return on your investment. The foundation for all of this is so simple. Always work from a list. Always think on paper. And here's a pro tip. Make that list the night before. This is cool because it lets your subconscious mind chew on your plans while you're asleep. You'll literally wake up with new ideas and insights on how to get things done better and faster. A written list gives you a clear track to run on for the whole day. Okay, so this isn't just about becoming some kind of productivity machine. There is a powerful, very real psychological reward for eating your frog. It's a feeling that actually creates a positive feedback loop, and it makes you want to do it again and again. So what's the secret ingredient here? It all comes down to brain chemistry. See, whenever you complete a task, especially a big, important one, your brain releases endorphins. And those endorphins give you a natural high. It's basically your brain's way of rewarding you for a job well done, and it makes you feel happy, confident, and powerful. And this endorphin rush is no joke. You get this surge of energy. You feel happier, more confident, even more creative. And as Brian Tracy puts it, you can actually become positively addicted to this feeling of success and accomplishment. You start to organize your life around starting and finishing important tasks simply because it feels so darn good. But look, at the end of the day, we can talk about frogs and lists and endorphins all day long. None of it means a thing without one simple ingredient: action. The faster you actually start doing this stuff, the faster you're going to move ahead in your life. Because as the quote says, the real key to all of this is action. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. As you finish up here, think about your day tomorrow. What is the biggest, ugliest, most important thing on your plate? What is the one task that, if you got it done, would have the greatest positive impact? Identify it right now, because that is the frog you are going to eat first thing tomorrow morning.